Ilya MVP Sorokin. You may as well just throw the letters in there for this guy with the New York Islanders. I mean, he's been that good.
There's only a handful of elite goaltenders in the league. He's one of them.
Sorokin, unbelievable!
Holy smokes. He makes all the saves he should. He makes some of the ones that you don't think he might, and even some of the ones that look impossible. He's able to make those too. This guy is the best goalie in the league, hands down. I don't care what you say.
This guy's incredible.
Sorokin! Are you kidding me? Minds are blown. It's a 49-save shutout.
He's the guy who steps up bigger than anybody on the team.
Yeah, what a save! One of the saves of the year.
He brings so much consistency, and I love the fact that he can make the spectacular saves too.
He's cool, calm, and under control.
It's an NHL leading 6th shutout of the season.
Ilya Sorokin is the real deal.
Igor, what a season he had.
He's a special netminder.
He was lights out, just got better and better.
Oh, what a save! Shestarkin from right to left, able to keep the puck out of the net.
His ability to see pucks through screens, tracking pucks, there's no way he's going to see that, and somehow he quickly reacts.
Oh, what a save! What a save by Shestarkin!
How can you do that? Just couldn't stretch out any further than that.
Front save! Oh, he runs Johnny Hockey! Great save by Igor Shestarkin!
This guy was there every time to stop 2-on-1s, 3-on-1s, high danger chances in the slot.
3-on-1 down low, and a save by Shestarkin. He's got it. Save made by Shestarkin. Look at the athleticism from Shestarkin.
Vezina Hart Trophy finalist. Goaltenders who come in and do that so quickly, it doesn't happen that often.
And Shestarkin flashes the glove, and the chance go off for Igor.
Make no mistake, Shestarkin is the main cog on this team.
There is no position in sport with the nobility of that of goaltender.
This guy's number one.
Top dog.
Number 88 is number one.
Got to do it 1, 2, or 3 years before you can be the best. This is the best. The big cat.
Once again is ready to go. He's coming! Across, big stop by Wassilewski.
Just unbelievable. He's that good.
Win number 250.
Oh, marvelous stop by Wassilewski. All the flexibility in the world.
Wassilewski's got it.
So powerful, so fast. Covers the net with his side. He's a beast.
You need your best defenseman to be your goalie.
How does that stay out of the net?
Wassilewski with that miracle left leg.
The game acts, a goalie reacts.
Will tie a franchise record with a 45-save shutout.
With goaltenders, they kind of have these ups and downs. The great ones are the ones that can stay consistent.
Wassilewski, absolute robbery.
His glove right now is a vacuum cleaner.
We are in the golden era of Russian goalies.
Last thing that an opposing team wants to see is Andrei Vasilevsky on a hot streak.
Stop by Wassilewski. What a save.
If there's one life to live and one game to win, my man, Andrei Vasilevsky, the big cat, is big time.
It is an all-Russian top 3 for our top 10 goalies right now. We'll start with the guy across the river, manning the net for the New York Islanders, Ilya Sorokin. What a season he had. They rewarded him with the big deal, 8 years, $66 million on July 1st. You wonder where this Islander team would have been this past season without that guy between the pipes.
Well, I don't think they're in the playoffs at all. And, you know, we knew this was going to be the top 3. We talked about it all year. But watching this guy in the net, the thing I love about him is he's so calm and collected. He's not stretching out all the time unless he absolutely needs to. So you'll watch him make these incredible saves, but he's also in position all the time. So he only makes these saves when he needs to be. But other than that, he's in the right spot. He's controlling rebounds, doing all these things. I mentioned it last year. I spoke with Zach Parise, and he told me that Sorokin's the best goalie in the league, hands down. I don't care what you say. This guy's unbelievable. Practice, games, everything. He said he is the best goalie in the league. I don't care what you say.
What do you think, Bruce?
Well, I mean,
certainly top 3 in the league right now.
Top 3, but I mean, Zach didn't see the other 2 either.
I played against him a lot.
I mean, yeah, but I mean, Vazzy in the last six years has been, to me, the best goalie and the one you can count on the most. Maybe not as much this year, or especially in the playoffs, but the previous 5, yes. I mean, I don't see the Islanders going anywhere without Sorokin.
Yeah.
And so I mean, they're definitely right up there. But once you're that good, Like, I mean, it's really picking hairs, splitting hairs, you know, between how good you are. It's usually the team that's in front of you that sort of makes the difference between whether you're the best or you're the second best.
Yeah, and I mean, he doesn't get a lot of support goal-wise from the Islanders, especially in the playoffs. So for them to be winning games and be where they were, he had to be that good. I mean, the shutouts is just crazy. I think he's got 13 over the last 2 seasons. Those things are going to add up in a hurry. And, you know, sometimes he needed them for the Islanders just for them to get a couple
and you know
points.
what? The Varlamov, to me, when he went there, was the #1 goalie, and this guy just overtook him. And again, another Russian goaltender who I think is very good and had some great years, and I think he's still going to have another couple great years.
Well, you talk about fan bases arguing about whose netminder is better. You got the Rangers, you got the Islanders, you got Sorokin, you got Shesturkin. Rangers fans are spoiled, right? They go how many years in a row with Henrik Lundqvist between the pipes, and then all of a sudden, seamless transition into this guy. He is the future. He is the present. He is one of the best goalies we have in the world right now.
Yeah, it's really not fair, like you said, how spoiled they are. They get to go from a Hall of Famer in Hank to probably a future one in Shesturkin. But the thing watching Shesturkin, to me, it almost doesn't look real the way he works on his edges. His feet get out so far, and usually, in order to change an angle with your skates, there's almost 2 pushes involved, and he seems to just float into different angles, and his feet are outside his shoulders, which becomes harder to push. And just watching him skate, it just doesn't even seem real. And so he's able to put himself in positions to make saves that you didn't think were possible, and add the flexibility and the strength with that, and that's why he's who he is.
Yeah, and we were just talking about Vazzy and Sorokin. We forgot all about him. This guy won the Vezina 2 years ago, and obviously is one of the best. But as a coach, like, I deferred everything to the goalie coach. They're the ones that know it. You can ask Doobie here. If Bob Mason wasn't around, I never talked to him. I just said, Bob, you talk to him. You talk to him. You talk to him. Keep his mind straight. But these goalies are so athletic, and they're big, and they're strong. And I mean, what people don't realize is how great goaltenders are in shape. Because, I mean, they face more shots in practice, and they play every game. I'm in awe of them all the time.
And one thing that you don't really think about Shesturkin is his puck handling is elite. He's a phenomenal puck handler, and he's not afraid to go out there and do it, and it's a big asset. I mean, it's fun to watch him stop all these pucks, but he breaks the puck out for his team pretty well, too.
That certainly helps. That's a third defender back there leading the breakout. And at #1, Andrei Vasilevsky. No argument there.
I know,
I
just jumped the gun.
That's okay.
Bit, you know.
I mean, this guy has been at the top for how many years? And he's still at the top this year despite his team maybe an earlier exit than we anticipated based on the last couple of runs, deep runs, the last couple of summers.
It seems like to me, though, that any time there was an important game, and he would be the best player on the ice. I mean, there was games like this year, even when he let in 7 goals, and quite a few times, I think 3 or 4, actually. But, I mean, he's with Tampa. They've been there. They've done that. But when it come down to important games, you knew he could be the one that stopped him. I don't know if it's the exact number, but every game 7 for like years.
Clinching scenarios. Or games following a loss in the playoffs.
Yeah, was an amazing statistic on how good he did. And to me, that's what tells you how good a goaltender is.
Well, yeah, so he's got all these tools that we just talked about with Shesturkin and Sorokin, but he's like 6'6".
Yeah.
Which is just unfair.
Linebacker.
But I think, Bruce nailed it, where if you ask anybody around the league, around hockey, who you'd put in net in a Game 7 Stanley Cup final, there's not a single person that's not saying Vasilevsky, because he's done it. Like you mentioned, he's a big game goalie, and just the flexibility and power out of him being 6'6". I mean, you watch him take breakaways, his feet are like twice shoulder width apart, and he can still push. I mean, if I stuck my feet that far apart, I don't think I'd be going anywhere. And, he's fun to watch. I wouldn't say it gets boring, but it just seems like every single year
the
we talk about him at
high.
#1, but certainly not boring to watch his highlights.
No.
But when I was behind the bench and you're playing against him, I mean, he looks like that seal in the Geico commercial. There's no room to shoot the puck. Yeah. Like, I mean, he's so big, he comes out, he covers the angles.
I think he's a walrus in that commercial.
Walrus, seal, whatever.
He's
a sea animal.
Yeah. This is
I haven't been on here for a month. Give me a break here.
I respect it. Yeah. Like you said, he stops the puck, and at the end of the day, that's the goalie's job, and he's still the top dog when it comes to goalies in our countdown.